YouTube Nation, Manfit TV, aka Me TV, aka you can't stop the profit. And I've been saying this for so long. Look, people, understand, on Monday, before I get started, because I'm going to say thank you for sending me the information, thank you for watching the videos, but I have to start with what happened on Monday. That's right. Now, for anyone who watched my sports video, I want to just talk about this real quick. George Zimmerman gets off scot-free. I told you what was going to happen on Monday. I told you that he was going to get a manslaughter charge on Twitter, and because people were asking me, and I said no, he's going to get away with it, all right? Once the prosecution decided that they want to try to throw in third-degree murder at the last second, that meant they couldn't get him on second-degree murder. Bottom line, they just couldn't, all right? Now, I'm not going to talk about that. I just want to move on, okay, because I'm not going to get all caught up in it. But I want to say that we have to talk. You know how we start this. With EA Soft, all right? EA Soft, or Soft, as one of you YouTubers has said, and they're bullshit. That's why we're going to get started. All right, look. First off, here we go with having more predictions come true. And you know, I'm starting to get a little upset about this. I'm going to talk about this a little bit because I told you people just a couple months ago that EA was possibly thinking of raising their prices on video games for next generation. And people were like, well, did they say possibly? I said, no, it's going to happen. Well, guess what? EA has confirmed it's going to happen. That's right. So now they're going to raise their prices for next generation games. EA, you're already starting off on the wrong foot. You want to be, you know, taken off the list for the worst company in America. You're getting ready to get it 3 years in a row. You are. But that's not all, people. Check this out. EA has hired Anita Sarkeesian. That's right. For the next Mirror's Edge game. Are you serious, EA? So let me get this straight, and this is what pisses me off. Because for a person like me who can do this for years and years and give it to you straight and be 10 steps ahead of you, EA, and let these people know on camera exactly what you're going to do and how it's going to be done, step by step. And not just that, not only the complaints that I put up, but I also give you solutions. Do I not? Okay, so it's not just me complaining and rambling on. I give you solutions, and you go and hire a person off of YouTube who has no idea what the hell she's talking about, all right? Screaming sexism, poorly constructed videos with bad examples of sexism, and that's who you hire? Seriously, it goes to show you that obviously I'm doing this all wrong. If the companies want to take notice, apparently, I just gotta bring out a bunch of hot air and bullshit, and then they'll hire me, apparently. If anything, EA, you should want me on your side. Instead of just knocking on my door, you decide to go after the phonies. Why? Because that's what you attract. Phonies. And we'll talk about that. Because, at first, you hired the Call of Duty commentators to try to push Battlefield 3. A bunch of phonies who didn't give a damn because they said themselves they didn't even really believe in the product. But yet, you hired them, you gave them money, you sent them out to PAX and all this other stuff. Now, you're hiring Anita Sarkeesian. And people understand this. I will talk about this in detail in a later video because there's more to this. Alright? Yeah, I'm just saving that, alright? Got the ammo, you know, the guns cocked and loaded in my back pocket. Understand. I'm going to get on that. But EA, easily, you were going the wrong way about this. For, like I said, for a company who does not want to be the worst company in America anymore, you sure are taking the great steps to keep it going, aren't you? You should be ashamed of yourselves. But yet, you just want to keep giving her more money. Okay, you know what? I want to move on to other things that I predicted that should have been done. So, people, remember when I said in my How to Fix Capcom video that Capcom should fire Svensson? Remember when I said that? Alright, if not, you can go back and watch the video how they should get rid of him. Well, guess what? Capcom got rid of him. Understand, people, that this is all coming full circle. I told you, 10 steps ahead of the game, and they're doing it. Now, I will say this right now. There's a lot of people who are upset that Svensson is gone. They're saying that he did great for the community. Where the hell have you been? Have you not seen what's been going on? Have you not seen the way he has treated people? I'm telling you, go back to my Final Fight video. All right? When the Better Business Bureau got involved, and the way that he treated me in general when I was being nothing but respectful to him. We don't talk about that though, right? Like I said, this guy has been, and I hate to use this word, but he has been a cancer to this gaming community, the Capcom community. It is great to see him gone, and I cannot believe there are people out there who are going to defend this guy. And I'm going to talk about that in a bit, about people who defend things, all right? Because Capcom, even though you've done, and for every one thing that you do right, you do 10 things wrong. I don't understand this, all right? Because Capcom, how do you, and I want to talk about this, how do you announce a new update for Street Fighter 4? And you charge $15, let's get it straight, alright? You give out 6 new stages, alright? And then you get 5 new characters, all from Street Fighter vs. Tekken pretty much. And let's get something straight here, people. Understand that the PC community, with these characters, they've been using them for free for months. That's right, for Street Fighter 4, for months. And then Capcom wants to charge you, what, $14, $15? You've got to be kidding me, Capcom. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. You don't try to make a profit, turn a profit on it, all right? Even though it's already out there. What are you doing? This is your answer to charge people even though it's already out there for free? You got to be kidding me. And the thing is, I cannot believe that there's people out there who are for this.
Alright, so everyone settle down. Alright, yeah, so as Combo Fiend mentioned, this is more than just the balance update. This won't be just a patch that changes the balance. We are going all out with this update. It's going to be a new version of Street Fighter 4.
You cannot be stuck on stupid this badly. It is impossible to be this stupid to get hyped up for something like this. You know what? I've seen some people talk about how maybe they're just Capcom employees and they're just hyping it up, you know, and hopefully, you know how it is. You get a crowd together and you show something and nobody thinks for themselves. That's what it seems like. And we also saw this when they were putting money up in the air. So this is not much of a shock, but you'd think you have learned by now to stop getting duped into these type of things. Seriously, if Street Fighter 4 is going to get an update, here's a question, Capcom. Here's a question, fighting game community. Where's the updates and bug fixes and balancing for Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3? I'm just wondering, all right? Because it needs fixes, and you know that. You do. But yet, Capcom, this is what they want to do. They want to keep giving you 1,000 iterations of Street Fighter. You'd think you'd learn by now, and people keep saying, well, this is what they did back in the day. Understand that back in the day, you had a choice from arcade. You can go from machine to machine and put your money in. You didn't have to put down $15 flat or buy a new disc. You didn't have to keep doing that because it doesn't support the old one. You know what I'm talking about. They did that with Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. So understand, this is something that Capcom has gotten wrong, and I should say, you know, it's becoming a problem. Because now it's not in arcades anymore. These are on consoles. These are on, you know what I mean, on the home networks that some people still complain about the connections on that. You think you'd have took some of that and fixed that problem, but it seems like you haven't. Oh my God, Capcom, what are you doing? You know what? I want to talk about this a little bit more. Because you guys, you act like you're such pros when it comes to these fighting games. And it's interesting. Because now, pro gamers are starting to become recognized as athletes. That's right, by the US government. League of Legends. That's right. Their players are not considered professional athletes. This is garbage. You're not training, all right? You're not sacrificing your body. There's not that many people who actually work out to play video games. Don't sit here and tell me that you sitting down and playing a game is a sport. It's not. I don't care how much you love video games or how much you're into tournaments and competition. It is not. Don't sit here and tell me that you can play Madden and think that you can win it all and that you're a great football player, but then when you go outside, you can't play football for dick. I'm not trying to hear that. You're not an athlete. You may get paid like one, which is what it's come down to. League of Legends players, we all know, they have a lot of sponsors, and this is when sponsors come in. I talked about this in sports videos. If you have enough sponsors and there's enough money, you can turn anything into a sport. That's what it comes down to. League of Legends players, you know you're not athletes. You know this. The US government, you should be ashamed of yourself for even recognizing it. It's only because of the money that's coming down, or possibly, and some people have said, I'm not saying it, some people have said, it's possible that, you know, there's been some handouts going on to pass that. I don't know how much lobbying is going on in the video game section of this and all. I don't know, okay? But the fact is, you're not athletes. You're gamers. I'm tired of trying to hear this culture that has been, you know, pushed away for so many years. Now that it's become a pop culture, because it wasn't very popular then, all right? Or at least people didn't recognize it as popular, okay? This is where we could have went and just been together. Now we've got racism, sexism, classism. Now you're trying to, you know, separate us and try to tell you that some of you gamers are cool, but the rest of you who play for money are athletes. Stop that. Stop. It's not going to work. If that's the case, then I guess any gamer should be able, since you have tryouts and all these type of things, any gamer should step into any type of tournament or whatever and be able to do whatever they have to do without paying any dues. And we'll talk about paying dues, all right? Because Nintendo, we have to talk, oh God, Nintendo, I don't know what the hell you were thinking. At EVO, Nintendo decided to cut the stream and say, no, you're not allowed to show Melee at EVO. Nintendo, are you stupid? Are you fucking stupid, Nintendo? Look, we've already seen Nintendo make a problem, cause a problem with YouTubers and taking the monetization away from them. And then Nintendo decided to back down from that. Now, Nintendo decided to cut the stream, for Melee on Evo, and then they backed down from that as well. Look, if I'm the people at Evo, and Nintendo, as soon as they would have said, we don't want you to show Melee on stream, you know what would have happened? I'd have got on the phone to Capcom, and I'm like, hey, Capcom, what you doing with Power Stone right now? I would love to put you on the front stage with Power Stone right now. That's what would happen. And as soon as Nintendo came out and said, you know what? Hey, no, we'll give you the stream for Melee. I'd have said, that's good, Nintendo, but we still want Power Stone, Capcom. Understand, that's from a business aspect. What I'm talking from at times are from a gaming aspect of what these companies make mistakes from. But business, you damn right I would have picked up the phone for Capcom and said, give us Power Stone. And then here's the funny part. After Nintendo backed down from Melee and gave them the stream, it broke records. Melee broke records for stream views. So it goes to show you, because a lot of people were fighting about if Melee's a fighting game or a party game. How about this? It should be there, period. And we're going to talk about this. Melee, you got, Power Stone. You have Spawn the Demon's Hand, Anarchy Reigns. This opens up the genre for more competition at Evo. You like competition, right? Fighting game community? This is what you like. This is what you should get. That's simple. These types of hell. Bring back Thrill Kill. Understand that this is something, or to a lesser extent, the Wu-Tang game. But understand, this is something that needs to happen. It needs to expand. But it seems like people just want to be stuck in their ways. So you want to see 1,000 iterations of Street Fighter and support that shit, but you don't want Melee in your Evo. Are you serious? It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. You should be appreciative of the games that you have in the past. Games like Rival Schools, games like Melty Blood, games like Blaze Blue. All these games deserve the credit they get. I don't care how old they are. I would play Marvel vs. Capcom 2 before I decide to watch a stream of Super Street Fighter 4 or whatever Arcade Edition, Ultra Edition, Super Edition. I don't give a damn. I watch Third Strike over that. I watch EX over that. I watch the Alpha series over that. It is a joke. And we're going to talk about jokes, all right? Because you really should be supporting this to make it grow. Understand these games have gone, they haven't gone anywhere. Ballerina Toshinden should be there. Understand these games should be there because they were good for their time. And they deserve the credit they get. It's that simple. And some of you people have said, they don't have the bigger following. That's why they don't show them, all right? They were there for a time or they're in a side game or whatever. But understand, the way these companies do things now is they will put it up there, whether you like it or not. And guess what? It'll create a following. Where's the Darkstalkers at? Where's Darkstalkers? I'm trying to figure this out. I told you before, especially with Street Fighter Tekken, and they think this is a great update. What did I say to you before? On the fan page when y'all were asking about art design. I said it's the same art design. If they do Darkstalkers like this, then it would be nothing original. Meaning they can transfer the same stuff from game to game. And we're seeing it now. They're trying to put these new characters in Street Fighter 4 shit. It's the same thing. It's the same game over and over and over and over. But yet, I'm wrong, right? I'm wrong. Let's keep going. Because like I said, I want to talk about jokes. Because Daigo vs. Takedo, I have to talk about this. You guys sent me this on Twitter and said, you should see this stream. There's talks of Daigo throwing the fight. Alright? So I'm watching the stream. I'm watching the fight between these two. Alright? And it's a fucking joke. You've got to be kidding me. It's a Hadouken fest. Alright? Now look, the commentators did a great job on how they're trying to mentally get into each other's heads, and that they're trying to establish control without really doing anything. But that's the problem. They're not doing anything. They're sitting around throwing Hadoukens, and you see the same combo like 5 times. That's it. Daigo gets to a point where he just does one regular uppercut and then goes into a super, and then punishing him. You fuck out of here. All right. Players make mistakes, but understand, if this is a competition, this is the highest level of competition, you go all out or you go home. And to sit back and see guys inch up Hadouken, then inch again Hadouken, then another inch Hadouken, and then another inch Hadouken. Oh my god, he's getting close to me. Let me try something. That's garbage. Me and Zenzo Soma put on a better fight. And for those who did not see my King of Fighters video, our series, we put on a better series than they did. Don't sit here and tell me that's a rivalry. That's garbage. But because of who they are, people will kiss their ass to the moon. And I like Daigo. I do. But that was a joke. That fight felt like it went on for 45 minutes when it really didn't, because of how boring it was. If that was anywhere else, in any arcade, people like, seriously, get out of here with that. Some people would have gave you, they'd have came over to your management, came over, gave you your money back and said, please leave. There's other people like, fuck out of here. You're garbage. Like I said, it depends on the people. The level of competition these days, it seems, and it's not taken away from other fighters, because we saw Evo, we saw other fighters, they went down, especially in King of Fighters, it went down. You know what I mean? It was great. But understand, this Street Fighter thing, when you just spam and spam and spam, it's garbage. Apparently, if you do it online and you spam, it's a problem. But if a big name guy does it, it's acceptable. That's garbage, man. Come on. But yet, y'all still gonna defend that, right? And that's the problem today. We have too many defenders and too many apologists. I'm gonna talk about this in a minute because, for those who don't know, even though I gave credit to the commentary for that, there was other commentary that was horrible at Evo. And we're gonna get back on the sexism thing. That's right, because this is what one of you guys had sent me before. So let me get this straight, fighting game community. You can pool your money together, $1,500 or plus for some douchebag to go over to Evo and play, and apparently he got destroyed in the first damn round, alright? You can give your money for that and say, this is what we're here for, to support each other, but you can't get together and say, hey, this is wrong, these comments are wrong, they need to be blackballed. Or, hey, this is wrong what the companies are doing, trying to keep milking us, let's do something about it. Are you serious? This is what you want to have a claim to fame for. This. You have to be kidding me, man. Here's the problem, all right? Here's the problem. Because, like I said, there's too many defensive people and apologists for these people. The fighting game community is starting to become repeat offenders. I've done this. How many videos have I done on this about sexism in fighting games? And now you're doing it again. Yet, people will defend this. Oh, it's part of trash talking. No, 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 no. These aren't from the players talking to each other. This is commentary from a third party from a distance doing this. It's uncalled for. Yet, that's all right. Are you serious? It seems like that the maturity of the fighting game community, this is why it's not bigger than what it is. But yet, I'm sure I'm going to get hate for this. For telling it like it is. That's what it comes down to. And I want to talk about this clown about donating money, because Empire Arcadia, you know, tried to return the money. We don't know if it's happened yet. I haven't seen an update to say they tried to return the money, because the guy was sponsored and they gave him the money. Now, Empire Arcadia looks really bad right now because of that. Because he just went out and started begging, which is the dumbest thing. Look, first off, like I said, that's not a priority. If you can't make it to Evo, you're living a lifestyle that apparently you can't keep up with. All right? You're not going to beg strangers. I can understand if you asked your family or your loved ones for money because they're supposed to be there for you and you're there for them. But to ask random strangers online, that's a whole new level of begging. It is. You might as well be out here in the street with one of these signs. Seriously, like that hustle was horrible. You should be ashamed of yourself. But apparently, there's no shame anymore. There's no dignity, there's no honor, there's no integrity. And until somebody starts proving me wrong, that's what I'm going to think. At this point, the big-time Evo is starting to look on a downgrade, and it's time to start bringing back these local fighting tournaments. But I want to keep going about fighting gamers. Once again, you're getting a shaft. Injustice. Let's talk about it for a minute. Injustice Gods Among Us. But now, for people who haven't seen, you know, the trailer of, you know, Martian Manhunter's coming in, and Jon Stewart, was it Green Lantern is coming. Understand it has been found. Now, I said this online. I said, you know, it's only a matter of time for the Game of the Year edition comes out. Well, it's been found. They've already found a listing for the Game of the Year edition for Injustice for the PC. So you know if it's coming to the PC, it's going to come to the consoles. You know this. The link will be in the info bar for you guys and girls for that, okay? So it goes to show you, you're being hustled once again. At this point, fighting games need to be, if they're going to keep making DLC for it and Game of the Year editions, you need to drop the initial price for them when they first come out. This is a joke. Keep making iterations and shit, and people keep running and buying it. Dumbasses. I'm telling you, fans, you have more power than what you think. Consumers, you do, but you don't want to hear that. And speaking of more power, I want to talk about the Xbone 180. That's right. The family share plan is coming back, because a lot of things have been cut off from it, but not at launch, all right? And there has been some articles saying that most of these things that the Xbox cut out will later be put back in, all right? There's been a lot of, like I said, I have news on that. I'm going to save that because, like I said, I got like, last time I told you guys I had like 800 something email. I'm down to like 777 or something like that. So I have seen the article. It's just got kind of buried in the rest of the stuff. I will produce that information for you at a later date. I will. That says, we will put this stuff back in. We may put this stuff back in after people buy the stuff. That's right. Now, I want to talk about this because Microsoft, yeah. An executive comes out and says that the specs are meaningless. That's right. The specs are meaningless. It's about games and experience. Really? So the specs doesn't mean, if the specs don't mean anything, Microsoft, then why did you make a new system if the specs don't mean anything? Why are you still whoring out Call of Duty and not pushing for first-party unique titles if games are everything, experience is everything? Why is this? You're lying. That's what you're doing right now. You're lying, Microsoft, and you're going to keep getting caught by this. It's PR bullshit, and gamers just buy into this for some stupid-ass reason. And you want to know why? Because Amazon has sold out on PS4 and Xbox 180 launch editions. That's right. So it's sold out. So you're telling me after everything that Microsoft has done, has told you that you don't mean a damn thing, has told you, well, if you don't like the Xbox One, you should keep your 360 because we're not catering to you. We don't care about you gamers. We only want the top class who can afford this shit. We want to create classism. And you still went out and bought this? You still supported them? Regardless of if they cut the features or not, and we'll bring back the features, it doesn't matter. The damage is done. This is what they've said. And I don't care if Diametric decided to leave or not, to go to Zigna. I don't care. That doesn't matter. Microsoft did this. I don't care if they try to rebrand themselves, put other people, in position. You have to understand that this is still a problem. But yet, you're still going to support this shit. It's crazy. And yet, I'm the one that, because I'm sitting here telling you this stuff, it makes me look crazy because of the emotion I'm showing. Come on. You've got, but that's not all right? Because you Xbox fanboys, understand you have to stop this. You start a petition, all right, to get all the features back of the Xbox One. And then, for what we're hearing, Sony fans actually signed this. That's what we're hearing. I don't know if this is true or not, but there's two things I want to talk about first, because I believe Gaming Anarchist said it best. He talked about on Twitter how this petition wouldn't have got as big as it did if it wasn't for YouTubers talking about it. Because if you look at the time frame, you look at the numbers, when YouTubers started talking about it, then all of a sudden the numbers started going up. Now, that's one thing. So pretty much, it was best not to talk about it and let it fly under the radar, so that it just dies. But that's not it, all right? Now we're seeing, if this is true that Sony fans signed it, that's a whole new low for Sony fans, all right? This is all about the system wars and seeing if games. I've never seen a gaming culture so divided when it comes to not wanting more systems. I never understood that. All right? Bigger and better systems. If one system takes over the market, guess what? It gets comfortable. If you don't believe me, you can start to look at your software giants. Look at EA and their Madden franchise. Only football thing on on the market, and they're doing horrible. Their NCAA just got a 6 out of 10. Understand that this is what happens. You need competition. It's supposed to benefit us gamers, us consumers. But when you do stuff like this, it shows the immaturity as well. The system wars, this is what I don't understand. How can you sit here and still say you're a fan of this company when they screwed you over, or this company when they screwed you over, and then say, well, we're going to keep the system wars thing going? Understand, the system wars was just a PR move for the companies to see just how loyal you are. That's all it was. You understand it, right? That's why they have paid trolls. That's why they have all these people running around and starting things to see how you will react. That's it. It's a campaign for them. And yet you keep falling into it. The best thing you could have done is just leave it be. Just let it go. To show them that they don't have the power over you. But the more you argue over what's better, over Xbox or Sony or Nintendo or whatever, you're showing exactly what it means. It doesn't matter how much facts you bring to the table. Understand these systems are designed for certain types of gamers. All right? And if those games don't cater to you, then guess what? Then you go the other way. It's that simple. It means the company hasn't done their job. But you don't want to talk about that. No. You want to keep saying this company's the best they can do no wrong, knowing that's a damn lie. But whatever. You should be ashamed of yourselves. All of you who participated in this, in signing this and thinking it's okay. Should be ashamed of yourselves. You do not need the features that the Xbox One originally had to play a video game, bottom line. And if anybody believes that they really did, you need to be slapped really badly. You do. It's a shame. Just make your way out of the gaming community as far as I'm concerned. Let's move. I don't care how big of a YouTuber or article writer or blogger or gaming media you are. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Anyways, We'll move on. The difference between Windows and Xbox platform is, this is the Educate fanboys. I will put the link in the info bar so that we don't keep seeing these miscommunications, okay? It's a nice article, but still understand there is a difference, okay? Now, I want to talk about Phil Fish. Phil Fish slams Microsoft for lack of support for feds. First off, once again, Microsoft is getting hit with a bunch of indie developers saying, you care about indies, but yet all you do is trash on us. I don't feel bad for Phil Fish after the things that he has said and the way he has acted online, so that's a moot point. I don't care about Phil Fish. But the point still stands that Microsoft does not treat indie developers greatly. They don't. Now, Retro City Rampage also slams Microsoft for the same thing. So it seems like all the indie developers are getting their ducks in a row and actually taking on Microsoft and saying, hey, no, this is how you treated us. You should be ashamed that you even said that you want indie games on your, Xbox Live. Okay? Now, also, Xbox, I don't get this. MS, this has to be the dumbest thing I've heard today. Okay? Microsoft thought they owned Donkey Kong because they bought Rare. Are you serious? You should know that's a Nintendo product. The company didn't, just because they made it doesn't mean they own the license. What the hell is going over there, Microsoft? Who are pulling these strings? Who thought that this was possible? Microsoft, you should be ashamed of yourself. You thought that you owned Donkey Kong? Really? Did you? Stop. Stop. All right. Also, it gets even worse because Microsoft is putting in so much man hours that they actually had an employee interrupt a Wii U Best Buy event to try and sell the Xbox One.
Because as neat as it looks, I don't want Spy Box in my house. Huh? As neat as it looks, I don't want the Spy Box in my house.
Most of the information is kept on the actual Xbox. But none of it's getting sent out.
I know, but somebody's looked. I know, but it's like somebody's watching you. Nobody likes having their house bugged.
If that's what you have to do to try and get sales, you're desperate, Microsoft. It's pathetic that you would even go that far to interrupt another competitor's event to try and push your own product. Sad. But people will still support you because people are stupid. That's why. But let's keep going. So about Sony. They say that third-party companies wanted 1,000 times the power of the PS3, thus the PS4. Now, I remember that there's one of you jackholes over on my Twitter who keeps spamming me saying that Sony makes the system, they make the rules, you were wrong, even though I was right. And it goes to show you that Sony obviously is yielding to third-party companies. So obviously, Sony don't make the system, they don't make the rules. Obviously. You're a loser for even having to do that. Seriously. You've been doing it for like 3-4 months now? Yeah, you're a fucking loser. Bottom line. Anyways, let's talk about more losers. That's right. Adam Orth. Adam Orth is to speak about toxic online behavior at GDC. That's right. So he's got, now that he's out of a job, all right, after the things that he said, he's going to speak about the online behavior of gamers. All right, so apparently we're going to go into this thing where, he's not going to go into the deal with it and trashing people, about their class, but he's just going to talk about the backlash that gamers, and I'm sure he's going to take the immature route about it, that gamers, in their online behavior. You have to be kidding me. This guy is going to try to find a way to stay in the limelight. He's going to be at GDC. People, if you were going, I would suggest not showing up for that. If you want to make a statement, you want to make a difference, you want Adam Orth out here after the things that he said, because losing his job wasn't enough if he's trying to do this now to make some scratch, all right? You know what that means? That means don't show up for his hustle. I know some people try to go there just to try to combat him, but no, don't show up for his hustle, and I guarantee you when it happens, there's going to be a number of videos out people who actually showed up. Anyways, speaking of idiots, hypocrites. Ninja Theory. I know it's been a while since we talked about Ninja Theory, but I gotta talk about this, alright? Ninja Theory posts new footage of their latest game, alright? And now a lot of people are like, oh, it looks good, it looks good. At first they were like, is this not Devil May Cry 2, is it? No, it's not. It's a completely different game. It looks like it's going to be for the PS4, but understand, this is a AAA game that they're making. Now wait a minute. Didn't Tamim say that AAA games were bad? So I guess that he's just going back on his word, or maybe he's contradicting himself. But either way, he has duped you yet again. And I'm sure there's fans of Ninja Theory who's going to think this is okay that they're being lied to. It's okay. It's okay, because that's what that's what it comes down to these days. People lie, and you accept it. How many times are you willing to be lied to? But yet that's okay. You don't want to call him on anything. You don't look. I'll put it like this: it doesn't matter what Timmy makes or is in charge of anything anymore. I don't care. All right. After what happened with Devil May Cry, I really don't give a damn. But that is clearly bullshit that he was talking the entire time. That right there caught your red hand. Look, to me, let me tell you now, when you get caught in a lie, man up. Don't keep lying or don't keep contradicting yourselves. It makes things worse. Don't you understand that? But yet, nobody will hold them accountable unless it's yours truly. Okay? Now, let's keep going. All right, Facebook. Gotta talk about this, all right? Because we know about the League of Legends kid. And for those who don't know, League of Legends kid has been bailed out. It's like $500,000 bail by an anonymous person. Nah, son. I'm not trying to hear that anonymous shit. Somebody bailed him out because they knew they were fucking wrong. Somebody needs to dig and find out who the hell. I'm going to look around and see what's going on to find out who this person actually was. Don't tell me it was an anonymous person. I'm not trying to hear that, all right? But on Facebook, a troll went to jail for 2 months for threatening to kill 200 school children. So let me get this straight. This guy on Facebook can make threats and only get 2 months, where the kid from League of Legends got X amount of years? Are you serious? This is a joke. There's no consistency within all of this. There just isn't, all right? But I want to talk about more douchebags. Now, for those who don't know, I'm going to give you the bad news first, and then the good news, okay? So, this douchebag, some douchebag, all right, shoots a person in the face because he didn't return his Grand Theft Auto game to him in a timely manner when he wanted it. So, apparently it was his friend. He let him borrow the game, all right? And the guy said, I don't want to give it back to you yet. And he got into an argument or whatever, and he shoots him over a fucking video game. You gotta be kidding me. What the hell is going on? You have to, and these guys, one guy was 20 years old, one guy was 23 years old. They know better. These aren't kids. They know better. I told you, it's not the kids you gotta worry about. It's the parents and the adults you have to worry about. But y'all don't want to hear that. Now, it also doesn't question the mentality of these people. I understand, just because you're older doesn't mean you have the mentality of an older person, so you know better. I get it. That's a different discussion for another day, or unless you people want to talk about it in the comments, okay? Now, I do want to talk about this. As I said, I gave you the bad stuff, and I'm going to give you the good stuff, all right? How video games help patients fight cancer. It is a great article. I will put it in the info bar for you, because let's be honest here. We do need some good news from time to time. We do. And that's great. It goes to show you that it's helping patients. It can be used in a positive aspect if it's reported more, media. Okay. Anyways. Let's get back onto grossing and things of that nature, because Bobby Kotick is the second highest paid executive in America. For doing what? For allowing Call of Duty to keep going the way it is? You take away Call of Duty, and Bobby Kotick's out of a job. We're gonna run the Blizzard? Is that what you're gonna do? Alright? We're gonna keep making more Marvel Ultimate Alliance? Oh wait, no, they haven't done that in a while. What, you gonna keep making more Diablo? Oh wait, that's not doing very good either. Activision, what do you have? You're holding the X-Men brand, the license, on hostage. That's what you have. That's all you got. You don't have anything, Activision. And the thing is, people don't understand. I've been bagging on Bobby Kotick for so long because of what he did to the animation industry with Funimation. All right? That's a different story for a different day, because he was in charge of Funimation at the time. So, let me get started on that, all right? But I do want to move on to Ubisoft, all right? Ubisoft, I'm going to talk about this. Ubisoft online game leaves gamers unable to play it. This Spartacus online game, people couldn't play it. This is what happens when you have always online. All right, when something goes down, everyone's screwed. All right, free-to-play game, paid or not, I don't care. All right, online only hurts you as gamers, and yet there's people who still think that's okay. Where do you live that you have constant connection and think that it's okay? Are you going to tell me your power never goes out? Are you going to tell me during a gaming session? Are you going to tell me that your online never goes out? All right. What if your cable provider decided they need to work on some wires and your online goes down, but you're playing? What happens? Then you get freaked out, right? What the hell? You call your cable provider and they say you just gotta deal with it. Can't play your game offline. Hey, Capcom, you still want to put on Final Fight? You want to put the offline for that on? Seriously, take the offline on. But yet you still want to play around with Final Fight, huh? Okay, keep it online only. You should be. I still haven't played that game. I still haven't. All right. I would like to trade in. Hopefully, one of these days, if a law passes, I would like to trade Final Fight in. All right, digitally, for money. Get my money back, because it's a fucking joke. But I want to keep going, because this is the last thing. Game demos can hurt sales. Research suggests. Now, I don't need this. Game demos. People, understand that there's others who believe that companies should not put out game demos. Okay? Because they hurt sales. And the research suggested, understand, this is what I've said since the DCUO days, you put out a demo or a beta so that you know what you're getting yourself into. We have seen way too many people pre-order games or pre-order systems without even trying it first. And then they get upset and they get mad. We've seen this way too many times. But yet, that's okay. Game demos have been around forever. And now all of a sudden you want to phase it out so that you can try to make a little bit more money? Because so that the consumer doesn't know what they're getting themselves into. So you can keep putting out trailers that look pretty. You can put out your own tech demos of people who already know how to play the game, so it makes it look at its best, at its best, how can I put this, its best presentation, and then all of a sudden, that's okay. That should be enough to sell people. So you're going to take away things that have been in the industry forever, and all of a sudden do that. You have to understand, back in the Intellivision, back in the Atari, back in the Nintendo days, they didn't have game demos. There's a reason why they started making them, to entice players to buy these games, because the developers worked hard. Now that we have every developer, every bad developer, come out of the woodwork and make these cookie cutter games or Hollywood blockbuster games, that you should just accept it. So now you want to go backwards again, even though you talk about pushing towards the future. That doesn't make sense. The fact is, game demos should be around for good. I'm not trying to hear time demos, because some of you people know what that means. You know, oh, you can only play it for a certain amount of times and that's it. No. If you give them a game demo, they should be able to play that demo to their heart's content, to sell them. You never know how long it's going to take to sell somebody on a demo. Let them play it. Gamers, you should be able to do this. And yet, this is what they want to do. But I'm crazy, right? But the industry's okay, right? But the fanboys are taking over. That's what they're doing. And there will always be somebody to enable this garbage. Yeah. This is what the gaming industry has come down to. This is why the game community needs to come together instead of sending people to damn Evo for some money. This is what it means to be a community, not to fork out some money to a stranger. Yeah. Anyways, I'm done, man.